All right, we are live on those platforms and we are pulling up Instagram. All right. Welcome back, everybody, to a Kick Ass Couples Nation Nooner on Valentine's Day. I am thrilled, so excited because I get to sit here next to the woman of my dreams, the woman who more than 28 years ago said, I do, and she still does. And I am just loving the fact that I get to come to you live today with Kick Ass Couples Nation Nooner. We're talking about Valentine's Day. So welcome, Kimberly Swain Hoffman, to our live.
Thank you so much for having me. This is so much fun that I get to be your guest today.
I know. Well, you're an important guest because you're most important to me. You're my number one relationship, the person that I prioritize above anyone else or anything else. That's why we're here, Kick Ass Couples Nation. But today we are going to talk to you about how to have this Valentine's Day be as special as possible and as meaningful as possible, and kind of kick some of those old norms and standards to the curb, because we don't want people just to do what's expected and what's normal, but we want to be extraordinary. So we're going to dive in. But before we do, Kim, I want to give a little bit of history. You may not know this. So we're going to give you a little history lesson today about Valentine's Day and where it came from. It was a holiday named after one of two saints. There's a man named Valentine. He was a 3rd century priest in Rome, and he defied Emperor Claudius's ban on marriage. He said, I don't want my soldiers to be married because I think it undermines their effectiveness in the field and their ability to be good soldiers. And he said, I'm not going to do that. And so he, in defiance, he continued to let people have marriage and express that to love. And the emperor put him to death for it and made him famous. So that's one thing that this history supposedly came from. But the second is that a gentleman, a saint named Valentine, was put in prison because he helped prisoners escape Rome. And he wrote his first missive to his love, and he signed it, from your Valentine. So I don't know which one of those is true or which one we're going to follow, but there's just a little bit of history. So I don't know if anybody knows this out there. If you listen to our podcast, the Kick Ass Couples podcast, Kim and I host that together. But Valentine's is one of her favorite holidays. So she's going to tell you right now, why is this one of your favorite holidays? Why do you get so much into Valentine's Day?
Well, first of all, I love the color red. So it's a really fun day to be able to wear reds and pinks. And so loving the color red helps. But also, I love romance. I love to be able to have a day where I can express my appreciation and gratitude for the people that I love, people in my family, and especially you. So.
And I've been the recipient for 28 years. She has done some incredible stuff for Valentine's Day. My joke, and this is not true, but I say, I spoil her 364 days a year, and she spoils me on one, but I get spoiled every day. But it's always exciting to me because, not that she has to outdo herself every year, but it's not a birthday, it's not another holiday, but it's just really cool to be the recipient of somebody's love, especially someone that you cherish and value so much. And it started out today on the mirror when I went to the restroom, to the bathroom to get ready. I had these little jellies of X's and O's and a heart that were on my mirror greeting me this morning. When I came into the office today, there was a beautiful handwritten card and a little fun gift. And she's told me that I've got to block out a lot of the rest of the day for some other fun stuff. So it's a fun adventure, and we get to connect and be close together.
Well, if you know us and you have read Kick-Ass Husband, then you will know how awesome Matthew is for me. Probably, yes, 364 days out of the year. And so I just felt like Valentine's Day, because I love the day so much, was just a great way for me to be able to do a little above and beyond for you, and to really think of some special things. And it doesn't have to cost a lot of money. Most of the things that I do are little love notes or picnics, things that are really sort of just fun and unexpected, things that we wouldn't normally do together as well.
Right, right. And so I kind of want to ask, we're going to start off. Our first key point is we talked about why it's her favorite day. So you all should know the answer to that now. But what should the point or mission be for people on this day for romantic couples? And I kind of have 3 points. And I think the first one is how do you like to show love? Because it's not, this is there's another point I'll make in a minute and you'll know it'll kind of come full circle. But how do you like to show love? It's about having fun and enjoying it. And so, Kim, how would you answer that question? How do you like to show love? Or what are some of the things that come to mind when you hear that question?
Well, I think expressing gratitude for someone that I care about is one of the ways that I like to show love. I like to be able to cook for somebody. I love to be able to set up special date nights. I think that e- e- especially experiences together, having fun and doing some, adventurous things together is another way that I like to express my love.
All great ones. And we're going to dive into those in just a minute. And I think the second point to remember on this day is how does your partner like to receive love? So you got to have fun doing it. I mean, you need to enjoy it and it's got to fill your tank. But one of the comments, it says acts of service, no doubt. And that's one great way to express love and to give love. And I think what's important is how does your partner like to receive love? And if you don't know, you got to ask. And you know what? And it might change, even though they once said, gosh, I really like spending time with you. And that can always be important. We talk about the love languages a lot, Kim, and there's things outside of that too. But how does your partner like to receive love? Because if they like to receive it a certain way and you're providing that, then you're filling their tank, especially on this most
Well,
romantic
that's so
day.
important because if you're buying me gifts and you're giving me um, presents, and all I want is to spend time with you or to have some just really good quality alone romantic time with you, then you're actually giving me something that really isn't going to fill my love tank.
Right. No, that's important. And I mean, you got to know if you're not hitting the right drum, then your spouse is just not going to respond. And you want to make sure that the things that you do, not just on Valentine's Day, but other days, they are fulfilling that tank. We had a comment saying, my partner loves physical touch and acts of service, not only physical gifts, but intentionality. And that's true. And I mean, physical touch is huge for me, and Kim knows that. So not just on Valentine's Day, but all the other days, she makes sure that that's part of the repertoire, and it's one of hers Um, and we are glad to be back with you, and we're still going. So I apologize about that lost connection, but they've reconnected our line and we've refreshed and we're back up. So I think the point we were talking about, Kim, is what is the difference between Valentine's Day and every other day? It's great to do stuff on a special day, but what thread do you think should run through the whole year and not, and then, or how should Valentine's Day be different than every other day?
That's a great question. I feel like every day we should be very intentional about expressing our gratitude and our appreciation for our spouse over the small things as well as the big things. But on Valentine's Day, I think it's a great day that we can go above and beyond and really make that person feel important and special. But I agree with you. It is an everyday, we got to show up every single day and be intentional about our gratitude.
Yeah, I think we have 14 pillars in Kick-Ass Couples Nation, and one of them, number 7, is actually lasting love. And so I think Valentine's Day is a great way to take it and amp it up and say, how is our love a lasting love? And what's the difference between everyday love and the small touches, which are nice, and lasting love, which really shows a deep commitment and a deep connection? So when you think about connecting deeply, that kind of segues into one of our next points today, Kim. Uh, Creating an activity versus giving a gift. Valentine's Day, there's a lot of gifts. In fact, the top 3 gifts that, and I want to ask Kim, I want you to kind of rate these for us and tell us how important or unimportant they are to you. But one of the things that happens today is flowers. There are so many flowers that I think I saw from the Floral Association that 25 million dozen roses are purchased in our country today. And that's a huge number. So flowers, chocolate, champagne, chocolate covered strawberries is another way, or lingerie, right? And so how do you feel about gifts, those gifts, and gift giving in general? You talked about it a little bit earlier, and talk to me about the importance of gifts and things you get and how you feel about them, and then creating those shared experiences or activities together.
First of all, I love all those gifts. I think they're all really great and special. And I enjoy receiving those gifts from you. But more importantly for me, I think is if you were to schedule out time to be with me and maybe sit and have a picnic with some of those raspberries or strawberries and chocolate, that would mean a lot more to me because I just want to have your undivided attention and spend time with you. So I guess it really depends on your love language. If you're somebody that likes to receive gifts, then these are all awesome opportunities to enjoy. But maybe you're somebody that really likes to have quality time. And so then you're going to do a special activity together, or you're going to carve out time to be alone.
Right. And we're going to get to some of those activities in a minute. And so, but what I wanted to say about the whole gift versus activity is that I think there's kind of a misnomer, or I think that men typically carry a heavier burden or expectation. And this is societally, I don't know if it's just from women, but that the men have to be the initiator, that men have to plan the dates, that men ask the women out on the dates. And ladies, I just want to tell you that men love when you take the lead. We love to be told, I've got something planned and we're doing this. In my life, in my business, and the day-to-day transactions, I have to make so many decisions and planning and executing. It is such a treat when my bride says, we're going out on Thursday night and I've got it, because I get to show up and have fun. It's kind of a mystery. It's a surprise. And I don't mind at all when she takes the lead.
And I think we fell into that rut of, you're always the one planning and doing. And because you're very proactive about that, I just sort of took a back seat and got to enjoy the benefit of that. But it's been more recently in years in our marriage that I have really said, okay, I'm going to set up this special date night and I'm just going to text you and say, you need to be ready on this date and at this time. And I think you have really enjoyed showing up and
I have
seen what I had planned.
And what's nice,
and it's fun for me too. I love doing it.
And it creates anticipation. I'll say, hey, we're going to do something on Friday night. And she'll go, well, what are we doing? And I'll say, you'll have to wait and see. right? Well, how should I dress? And she immediately is thinking about the outfit and what she's going to wear.
Right.
So, I'm big into invitations, sending a calendar invite, a text, or just a note saying, make sure you're ready for this on this day and this time, because it creates a lot of fun. And I'm going to throw kind of a random piece of information out relative to flowers. I learned that while a red rose has traditionally symbolized love, and you guys probably know that, romance and love, other colors like deep pink, purple, or white symbolize happiness, royalty, and sympathy. So other color roses can be given for different reasons. Doesn't always have to be red and red love, but it can be, right? And I'm going to give you guys some sobering stats. Here come those stats on Valentine's Day. Some sobering financial statistics, right? So having a great Valentine's Day does not have to be all about spending money. You can, but here's some facts that Americans are expected to spend a record-breaking 27.4 billion, including 2.4 billion on candy alone. People expected to spend an average of approximately $196 on Valentine's Day, with men spending $291 to women spending $106. So women are a little more frugal and conscientious, and guys, I guess we're hopeless. We're a little bit more over the top. So, what are the no dollar things that men or women can do to show love, dedication, and infatuation? Guys, we want men and women, we want you all to know that there are a lot of things that you can do. And I'm going to throw out the first one. This is something I did. It's a chapter in my book, Kick Ass Husband. Write a poem, right? You don't have to be a poet or a poet laureate, but one of the things you can do for your spouse, there's online stuff. Google it. There's YouTube videos. Write a poem in your own words. It won't take you more than 30 minutes if it's a haiku or something short, but put it in writing and do something fun. There's a no cost way you can let them know about your love and adoration. In fact, that was the title of the first poem I wrote for Kim when we were dating, and she got to read it at an engagement party that her girlfriends threw for her. So Kim, what's another way? What's another way?
Well, you could do a full body massage with essential oils and candles, and that doesn't cost a lot of money. And I'm certain new cable lines, and sadly,
The joys of construction and living through internet. Guys, we apologize for that loss. We're back.
All right, so we were talking about some fun ways that we can recognize our spouse or our special someone on Valentine's Day without spending a lot of money.
And not spend a lot of money. And I think that Kim talked about a full body massage with music, candle, centrist lotion, or oil. And you know what? I'm going to say an old fashioned love letter. And if you want an easy way that's taking care of you. This is a little plug, but we want to give you a great tool. If you go to MatthewPHoffman.com, there's the greatest gift challenge. And mine is sitting, you can see it in a frame right over my shoulder back here, of the greatest gift challenge. And the top of that sheet, we've pre-done it for you. It says, here are 10 things that you can do to show your love and appreciation. So the 10 things I love and appreciate about you most, you write them down, you fold it up, you give it to your spouse, and they have something in writing that expresses, could be a letter, could be the greatest gift challenge, but it is so meaningful. I have it framed on my desk. I read it often, and it takes me right back to that place when I've received it for the first time.
Yeah. Poems, notes, love letters, the greatest gift challenge. All of those things are things that we can go back and look at later, which is so fun. What about just flirting with each other and, just really kind of sparking that love between you?
Yeah, I think that's great. You can just, it's the little points throughout the day. It's the hand on the shoulder. It might be a funny comment. It's a whisper in the ear about something sexy that you appreciate, or it's flirting and having fun and just reminding your spouse the things you love and cherish about them. Everybody loves Happy Valentine's Day, Michelle. So glad you could join us. We see you out there. Hope you're having some romance on this day today. But those little comments and those little flirt thing. What does a good flirting look like to you? Like, how do you like to be flirted with?
Well, if I was going to flirt with you, how about we do it that way? If I was going to flirt with you, I would probably tell you how hot you looked in your jeans.
Ooh.
Or I might leave you little post-it notes around the house with maybe some sexy little comments on them.
Yeah. One of the things Kim did when I packed on a vacation and I arrived, I was unpacking, I was gone for 3 or 4 days. My bag was full of notes everywhere I looked, inside my underwear and my shoes and my top kit. They're all little love notes. So over that vacation, it wasn't vacation, it was work actually, but over that trip, I got reminders from her about why she loved me and what she loved about me. And that was a lot of fun, and really appreciated that.
How about having a picnic in front of the fireplace?
At home, one of the things, everybody likes to go out for a picnic, but one of the things that we've done before is you spread a blanket in front of the fireplace. It's cool up here in Greenville. We have a little gas fireplace. Order some Chinese, takeout Mexican, something you don't have to cook. Put some music on, sit in front of the fire, and have a picnic at home. It's a lot of fun. It changes up the routine.
Love it.
And it's easy to do,
Have you ever played strip poker?
I have, with you. Only you. That's a fun thing. I usually win, by the way, but sometimes I lose. Sometimes I lose on purpose. And that's a lot of fun. Watching a rom-com, a romantic comedy, and getting your favorite drink out. That's something else you can do. Skinny dipping. We get to be on a lake in Maine in the summertime, and when the moon is out and no one else is around, that's something that we've enjoyed before. But just having fun and playing and seizing those moments to get together.
And none of that costs money.
It doesn't. So there's a lot of ways.
Little time and effort.
Yeah, you just got to be a little creative, I think, and make sure that you're doing something to take it out of the norm. So, the consumerism in society would love you to believe that it's got to be a lot of money, it's got to be expensive. But we're here to tell you that there's a lot of different things that you can do to be creative and have fun, and confirm and affirm why you prioritize this person more than anybody else in your relationship.
And if it comes from the heart, then that's the value right there, right? That's priceless.
So if anybody that's online with us right now has any questions, we would love to answer them. Anything you have about what you can do on Valentine's Day or every other day of the year, or why you can, we'd love to answer your questions. So you can throw them in the chat with us right now. Or if you have that question, you don't want to ask it live, you can email us at info@kickasscouplesnation.com, and we will get back to you and we will respond. And if you're in a relationship that's committed and you are stuck, or you're not feeling, man, it is just not as good as I think it could be, and you want it to be better, give us a shout as well. You can reach out to me, Matthew, at matthewphoffman.com. We've just kicked off a kick-ass couples coaching program for 2023. It's a 90-day deep dive into what we call the 3 C's, which are commitment, communication, and conflict resolution. And you get to work with me one-on-one and someone from our team of licensed marriage therapists. And we give you some coaching tools, tactics, and the things that you can do to go deep and bring back that honeymoon hot in your number one relationship.
Yeah. Or come check out our podcast where we interview couples who have been very successful in their relationships.
Yeah, Kick-Ass Couples podcast. We're on most major platforms. We do deep dive on those pillars we talked about earlier, which are key to all successful relationships. We have some amazing couples who are masters at relationships, and they share their trials, tribulations, and their triumphs, so you can learn what you need to do to prioritize your spouse in the best way possible.
Yeah, we're all a work in progress.
We are, and we work at it. I tell everybody I have feet of clay and I fail every day. But because we have such great commitment in our relationship, I've got the grace and the opportunity to do a redo and to get opportunities to do more things. So we are so glad that you joined us on this interrupted twice.
I know. Sorry, everybody.
Casey and Nooner. But if you joined us today, if you had fun on this, the video will be posted for you on our Instagram later. You can watch it again or share it with your partner if you want to give them some seeds to plant about something they can do to make Valentine's Day or any other day a special one. So we hope that you'll come back here every Tuesday for our KCN Nooners. There's always a good thing happening on our Nooners, and we have different guests and look forward to welcoming you back. So remember, everybody,
happily ever after doesn't just happen. It's on purpose.
Thanks for joining us today, everybody.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day.